pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call please.
Roll call. Bud? Present. Barb? Alan? Robbins? Tabitha?
Here.
Leslie?
Here.
Ken?
Present.
Alan?
Here.
Jim?
Here.
Matt?
Here.
Megan?
Okay, you've all had time to read the minutes. If there's no questions or corrections on the minutes, we need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Gary, do you have any additions to the bills?
One addition to the bills. I added $50. I sent out a revised total billing for the month. Brings it up to $9,755.18.
Move that the bills be paid for the appropriate.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, before we get started, just a quick thank you to the community for putting up with the polar bear. I guess most of the community must be in Florida. Like the diehards are here. Anyway, for letting the polar bear interrupt the village for a little bit that day. We did quite well. It was a beautiful day. Thanks to Alan Robbins for all his help. He was chairperson on that and raised a lot of good money for the Lions Club. So thank you. Okay, we'll go to safety.
We have Deputy Harhay here. I apologize that I don't have my formal sheets. Kind of read from that and the information. I didn't misplace it. Total hours for the month were 90 hours. RA at 40, King 25, Darwood 45. Gas usage was 37 gallons. I'll read from the sheets real quickly. One special detail, one animal complaint, one grass fire, fire, 4 squad ambulances, NBC, no injuries, 1 juvenile complaints, 1 larceny, 1 extra patrols, 142. Victor watch 61. Suspicious persons and vehicles 1. Suspicious vehicle 1. Assist other agencies 1. Building checks 2. Civil matter 1. Criminal damage, mischief, vandalism 1. Full arrest. In the CPR full arrest 1. Standby assist, general escort 3. Suspicious circumstances 1. Traffic stop 4. Total 230 records. Which is actually fairly active month for winter time. Deputy Harhay, do you have anything you wanted to do on the reports? Deputy Harhay? No. Okay. Separately, Deputy King submitted his resignation to Captain Ross for his Chippewa Lake duties. Younger man, I don't know the circumstances, they could have family, he could be making too much money, he could do a lot of things. General procedure is Deputy Harhay works with Captain Ross, publishes something that we've already been talking about, filling in the extra role. He already has 2 quality people approach him. But we'll hold off on that. King's goes through February, and King's been a long time deputy for the village, 25 hours a month forever. So he's significant, and he knows the village well. One of the 2 people lives in the area right now. There's a K9 officer also, and the other one Also toured several years in different police departments, and was come over to the Nevada County Sheriff's Department. So I feel we're going to do well on the short term. Still have to work through our longer term needs when we start talking about $100 but WRA and Captain Ross are all aware of that.
And you work with them too on that, okay?
I will.
Okay.
And we keep everybody involved as we move forward. Okay. Anything else for council on deputies? We have Chief Kavanaugh with us here today.
Alan?
I'm sorry.
Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There was a post on Facebook about somebody found a needle down at the yacht club a few days ago. Are you aware of that?
So that would be part of the village, that would be Lafayette Township, that
Okay.
wouldn't have that report, that would be Medina City.
You're right. I said that the sheriff needs to know about this.
Sometimes the fire department gets called for that.
Yeah, just it's a picture of a needle laying on the ground and they're saying it's a yacht club.
Right.
I'm like, you should tell the sheriff about this because they need to know. And I was just curious.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
Okay.
If somebody did call, that would have gone from Medina City dispatch.
I can't recall. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. Anybody else? I'm sorry. Oh, well, turn it over to Chief Kavanaugh.
Good evening. We had 86 calls in the month of January. 4 were in Chatham, 3 for the city of Medina, 2 were in Guilford, 66 in Lafayette Township, 4 in the village of Chippewa Lake, 4 in Gloria Glens, 1 in Seville, 1 in Westfield Center, and 1 in York Township. 70% of those were EMS calls. Our average turnout time is about 2 minutes still, 2 minutes and 6 seconds, and our average 2 scene time is 6 minutes and 12 seconds. We had a busy month, so we received mutual aid 9 times. We had 2 structure fires, so we had 2 house fires this past month. I'll talk about those in a second. We had 1 motor vehicle accident. We gave mutual aid 3 times to Medina, 4 times to Chatham, 3 times to Seville, and 1 time to York Township, and 1 time to Westfield. So, and again, we got a couple structure fires. I just want to make sure that it's still it's structure fire season, essentially, is what we call in the fire service. Just be cognizant of space heaters, candles, wood burners, all those kinds of things. The space heater should be plugged directly into outlets and not into surge protector or multi-outlet adapters. Make sure they're plugged directly into the wall, and don't leave them unattended. Candles, especially don't leave those unattended. And if you're doing wood burning, make sure your ashes are away from your home. Ashes can, in a bucket, ashes in a bucket can burn up to 2 to 3 days underneath there, and then can heat up and cause structure fires. And those are the cases in these past 2 structure fires. So, and they're devastating. It's unfortunate. So, and again, make sure your smoke detectors are working properly. Again, it's fire season, we call it in fire services, from about December to March, and it's because of those kind of things, so just be aware of that. Andrew Berger, Allison Javos, and Alex Thomas are doing well on their Fire Officer 1 course. They should be finishing up this month. Kelly Parker has completed her Firefighter 1 certification. She's going to be moving on to Firefighter 2 certification. We purchased 4 new iPads for the squads. These are going to be used as a kind of a silent dispatch. It helps dispatch centers eliminate or limit radio traffic, so it kind of cuts down on that radio traffic, needless radio traffic. We've got a bunch of departments that the county reports or dispatches for, so it's nice to be able to just push a button and they know we're responding or en route. That'll be a good asset to have. We got that through a grant. The BWC grant was revised, and we're gonna hopefully get $36,000 for new extrication equipment. And so we submitted the fire marshal reimbursement grant for $5,700 for training. Nate Savetsky, who's a Harlow police officer, he's been with our department for many, many years, 18 years actually. He has decided to resign. He's a very busy person. He's got a couple young children, so he likes being a firefighter, but he likes being a police officer better, unfortunately. But we'll miss him, and he's a good young individual that just needs to spend more time with his family, it sounds like, so.
That helps me out very well, because he is a twin. I did
Yeah.
Mike Sebastian, I never know who I'm talking.
Yeah.
So that eliminates.
Yeah, Mike's still around, but Nate is.
Yeah, he's the captain.
Yes, sir, yeah. And our tanker was fitted with new valves this past month. We had multiple leaks. It's a 32-year-old tanker. We fixed that up pretty well. And that's pretty much all I have. Anyone have any questions for me? All right.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It's an ongoing question with me, unpopular with most fire chiefs, and I haven't
All
asked
right.
you this question yet. The trains are running again on these tracks,
Mhm.
and do you guys, even though I've said for years that that really blocks our area, in case of a train, if you've got an ambulance or a fire engine on its way down Lake Road to this area, a train in the way could really delay you.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you guys, and you know, the other fire chiefs have told me that no trains run there. One told me I was hearing trains from Sterling, stuff like that. But I do know those trains are back.
Mhm.
And so are you making any allowance for that? Do you have any idea like what time a train is expected or?
I
Anything
can
like
look
that?
into it with the the companies that are running those tracks. I know Wheeling and, the Wheeling and Erie system. I know that there are some, I'm hearing new trains
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
coming.
I'm
They're
hearing
there.
them, so, I can look into that and see what time they're coming exactly. What we would typically do if we are stuck by a train, I would instruct my firefighters and EMS providers to immediately call mutual aid if it's gonna take any at all time whatsoever, because it will delay for a minute or 2 or 3 minutes. I've been stuck by a train and a fire truck. I've actually been in a house fire on the other side of the train tracks in Medina. There was a house on fire and the rest of the fire department was on Huntington Street. The house was on Huntington Street, and that train that runs across
Yeah,
Smith Road and Huntington Street, there was a fire right across those tracks. It was me and another guy on a fire truck, and the rest of the department was on the other side of the tracks for about 8 minutes. So I understand that, and,
well, you have a lot of road, Chippewa Road has
Quite a few.
tracks and Lake Road, and then right down the street from your station,
yes,
by the county home, there's one that could really block you guys from getting to a lot of places you need to get to.
yes, ma'am. So what I would do in those situations is immediately call mutual aid. They would come immediately on the other side of the tracks, and that's how we would solve it, at least on the scene or while we're responding and we notice a train, get on the radio and you call mutual aid immediately. Because then you can call, okay, I'm calling Lodi because I'm on the other side of the tracks from Route 42, or I'm gonna call Westfield or Seville for this area. And Chief Cypher and I have talked about it quite a bit, and same with Chief Hall and Westfield. Like, getting here, it's about 4 miles to get here from Seville, 4.5 miles from the Seville Fire Station. They go right down Ryan Road to East Lake. They can
Across
make,
those tracks.
and across those other tracks on the other side.
Same set of tracks.
Yeah,
There's a train here, there's one down there.
right. So if it's a long train, yeah, or the other end of it would be Westfield. So we would get help here pretty quickly. They don't stop and stay on the tracks, do they?
But they feel like it, I suppose.
I will look into it some more. I'll definitely look into it.
This
I'll get back
wasn't
to you on
as
this.
big a concern, before they closed our station here,
Yes.
but I'm not even going to go into all that.
So with that,
We'll never get over that, ever, because that really did give you access
Absolutely.
to the station. You could even get to the township by going down Chippewa Road to,
With
Yeah.
that, ma'am, I have some master plans in place, and I've been talking quite a bit with EMA about when they build this new station, that if we could get better access to that. It's a give and take kind of thing. I'm actually helping them when they're building their station by bringing some of their trailers down to our fire station. And I'm hoping that favor will be returned in the future and closer to the future, or if we get more funding or eventually get more funding down the road, that we could put a squad back in there. That's been my goal, even when I was in Westfield. I really think that that's important. So
it is important.
it is, and I'm working towards that, so.
Are you saying that EMA is building a new facility?
They're going to be building a newer, like a 6 bay, I think, or 4 or 6 day, like newer area. So I'm hoping with that, we could,
So it wouldn't be on this site, it would be somewhere else?
no, it's gonna be on that site, I think, yeah. So I don't, they're still in the bidding process, I believe, so, but I'll keep you posted on that as well. But
Okay,
that's been I've been working with Chuck Stiver and Ben now, Andy, and when Christina was here, like having those conversations, like, how can we make this work? And it would be, I would put some trailers in my station and maybe we could put a squad in this station. So that's kind of, it's been an ongoing thing in my mind
Good.
for a while, so I haven't forgotten about it, and I want to keep it going, so.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And the one last thing I was gonna mention that, Mr. Robbins is part of this committee. I formed a committee. It's of people from every development. We have a member of somebody from every development in the township and about 3 or 4 members from the township. Mr. Robbins from Chippewa Lake, and we have somebody from Glory Glens. And I actually just got a teenager on the committee as well to kind of spearhead that portion of it. But a group of citizens from Lafayette Township in this area that are just sharing information about the fire department and kind of future planning and future goals and just kind of what we do every day as well. So Mr. Robbins a lot more on that probably in the next month or so. But that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you guys for coming.
Chippewa, this goes back at least 10 years ago plus, but the reason was there was in Canada, in a small community, there was a chemical spill on a train track. Dave Young was in charge of that, and he did a multi-month report on what we would do, because it's a chlorine spill up on the hill, all that gas comes down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So you may want to talk with Dave, see if you can redo that.
Didn't you guys just have a chemical spill last week that threatened Chippewa Lake?
We had one.
Or a gas, diesel?
We had one in Seville a few weeks ago. It didn't get into the waterways. It was stopped at the retention pond.
What about the one that was trained by Plastic Coat that was leaking diesel fuel?
That didn't get into the lake system
Originally,
whatsoever.
they must have said it was because the park director called and said it had gotten into one of the tributaries of Chippewa Lake, then he called back.
I think that was misreported. I think it was a spill from a diesel truck.
It was a train, Alan.
It wasn't trained on the track.
I think it was
Trains, diesel fuel leaking was pretty popular that week. It's the same time they had the accident.
Yeah, we had another one this morning in Seville, a diesel truck leaking. So what I understand about the one, I'm Medina Fire Department still, is the diesel fuel never went past the initial area. So
Right, later they.
went across the
corrected it all.
street and that was it. They stopped it across the street from the original leak. A lot of times these truck drivers park their trucks and have a leak and they just ditch them, or they go, oh, I'll figure it out and go somewhere. It's unfortunate, but they don't think it's a big deal, and it is a big deal. So yeah, it just happened this morning in Seville again. But yeah, if it gets into the waterways, we let you know, and that's the important thing about the EMA, that I don't have one with me, but that EMA alert system, just so we can identify certain areas that are affected by those kind of leaks. So it's important to sign up for that EMA alerts. I can bring more of those cards if you need some of them, so.
Okay,
All right.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome, take care, man. Thank you. Anything else?
Yes. I have a brief update on the emergency siren. We've been, blocked or have not been successful in any grant funding for that. The representatives, of which Sharon Ray is ours, get a large pot of money from a state general fund. I was at a conference last week where Portage County, which is similar to mine, I got $2 million. So I sent a letter today to Sharon Ray, just highlighting the issues and how we can get her support for supporting the siren. So that just went out this evening. So hopefully we'll be able to have positive news at the next meeting. And that's all I have from Steve.
Okay, Alan, on the follow-up portions of our minutes, it was underlined about you inviting the new EMA director to come here, but you have not done that because they have not really appointed him yet. I just thought I'd say that because we do have someone that kind of follows the ones that we're supposed to follow up on.
Yeah, well, you're right. I did reach out. I thought Ben now had been appointed the official EMA director, and he's still acting or interim. So there was nothing. I got a call back from Matt Sturgis on that particular topic. So he's not the official thing. So when he does come on, I'll invite him.
Okay, thank you.
Because I hear very good things about it. And Matt Sturgis said he would be surprised that it isn't Ben, but I don't know where that is.
One of the things was that he plugged in the siren. The siren is Christine Fazio, our beloved former director of emergency management, had unplugged it. So now we're waiting to see if that's been the problem the whole time.
So, yes, so they have activated it a couple times randomly. We have not got the official, every Saturday, or the first Saturday of a month, noon is an activation for the whole county by dispatch. We don't know whether that's happened or successful.
I heard
Okay, on Monday or Saturday?
That was the polar bear, and I heard a siren.
it. Yeah,
I was walking off over.
That's right, it was during the polar bears.
I didn't hear
I heard it at the rate of 12.
I couldn't hear it either because I was down by the beach and Alan was talking too much.
it. I didn't hear it, so personally, but I'm not saying it didn't happen. You can hear all the other sirens.
I don't know if it was close, but I did hear a siren.
Okay. Special thank you to the fire department, Chief Kavanaugh.
We should have thanked him.
You know, well, I had privately, but he had Lafayette, Seville, and Westfield was all present for polar bear. And remember, this is a cold water training for them because they're in gummy suits in the water, moving all equipment around. Tents from EMA. Of course, we had a beautiful day. We did not have any ice, but we had a wonderful time and everything was safe. So that's all we're concerned about. And thank them for what they did for us.
Okay,
That's all.
okay, we'll go to zoning.
Okay. Mine perfect path. I had, January 20th came and went, and nothing happened, so I posted the demolition paperwork for the village on the door. And in the meantime, we had gotten some kind of email from Mandy Zeiger.
I'll talk about hospital.
Yeah, you want to take that over?
Yeah, it's eligible for demolition on February 20th. It doesn't have to be done then, but then that's when it's eligible, it can be done after that. In the meantime, I got an email from an attorney, Mandy Zeiger, from the law firm of Klunk Hoos. I wanted to say that. Asking they represent the mortgage holder on that property. I don't know how much the mortgage is, but there is a mortgage, so I notified them. And they want to know what can they do to prevent the demolition. And I sent them our orders to correct. I sent them the report from the building department. I said, fix all that, you can prevent it. Haven't heard back yet, but they're involved in it. But it's eligible, there's no immediate rush, but you can do it when you want to do it. I don't mind waiting a little to hear what the mortgage company has to say beyond, what can they do to fix it. I haven't heard back from them yet.
I think you might as well wait and see what they can do. Maybe they can bring it back up to quality.
Yeah, that would be great, but we'll see.
The other thing on the list I have is a 227 Rusted Brook, which is that Huntington Bank that took that over?
Yeah, it's owned by Huntington Bank. I've heard from their attorney too, Bradley Tolman, and they felt they needed to file an eviction, so there was no question that nobody could be in the place. They have a lockout by the sheriff scheduled for February 29th, And at that time, they'll take possession of the property. And the attorney says, we'll be able to clean up as soon as the tenants are removed. So that's where that stands.
Okay. Yeah, nothing has been done over
Yeah. We don't expect it till after February 29th.
there. Okay. All right, and I have one permit that's been issued, 24-001 at 585 Lake Road. And that's a replacement of decks and porches and steps. He's working on the house over there. So the final thing I have there at the bottom is a hearing for 224 Shadow Shore. And that's Alan Murray, Sapfield's property. And they were unable to make it tonight. They're out of town. And they are watching on Zoom. And if you have any questions for them, they said that I could call them. And if we could converse over the phone, and they could answer the questions for you, if you want to continue with the hearing.
Well, it's up to council if you want to go ahead with the hearing with them not present here.
I heard from the next door neighbor, Lyle Morris, and he has no issues with the building whatsoever, which is being built into his,
That's on his side.
that's on his side, so.
Council want to proceed with the rest of the hearing?
I'm okay with that.
Anybody else?
Does that impact the Evanco house, which is for sale
Well, they are the corner adjacent, and I did give them notice, and I haven't heard anything, so.
I heard he was ill. Do you know, is he in the house or are they somewhere else?
No one answered when I posted.
I don't think that he's living there. The house is pending.
That's what I understood, and that's why I asked the question. The sketches, I just asked the question without answering yours, Alan. The sketch doesn't have complete information. I can't discern from the sketch how far away the patio is from the fence. I find the details relative to the sketch kind of lacking. And the other question I have, I drove by and looked at it. It would appear that the intended structure is to the back corner of the house. It will be behind Lyle's house, but it does not go all the way to the fence. Am I correct?
I don't have it, so, yeah.
Can you say it's 2 feet from the fence? It's 2 feet from the fence.
And is that a strike over? Is that indicating a covered patio?
It's a covered deck.
20 by 15.
So,
The concrete is 25 by 15.
all right, is the covered patio going to be a permanent structure attached to their home?
Yes.
And that's where the variance comes in, because there's a minimum of 10 feet for a setback there. He said it's 2 foot 8 inches from the property line.
But it's covering the concrete pad, the existing concrete pad then?
Yes.
It doesn't go past that?
I thought it was a new one.
It's a new concrete pad.
Is it the one they live in or is it the one that's?
Is the pad there?
No, this is.
Was there an old concrete pad?
Okay.
Not that I know of.
So it's brand new.
This is a new concrete pad. So, and here's the application for the permit. It's concrete pad 15 by 25 and attached covered patio 15 by 20.
Isn't there a hot tub there currently? Is the hot tub going away? You know,
I imagine he's got room for the hot tub in that corner where it is.
that's what it's not shown on the sketch. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Maybe we could defer it till next month when we're a little clear on that. I'd like to see, get it visible on there, because if it's 10 feet short of your normal setback and we're only gonna be 2.8, that's pretty tight.
He says a hot tub staying.
Well, if council wishes to postpone it to the next meeting, you can do so, and Jim will have to notify the owners and the adjoining neighbors again.
Yeah, I recommend we postpone it. I find the sketch strictly a sketch, and it's lacking information. There's no photographs.
Well, it simply needs to have an overhead footprint, and that's what it's showing here. For a setback.
I mean, to me, it looked like, when I looked at it on the computer, it looks like it fits in right, the line of their house, right? Isn't that the case? Like it squares it off?
That's what the drawing shows.
Yeah.
It's just right off the backside of there.
Yeah, because I stopped and looked at the house and based on, sketching, I mean, it looks like it makes sense to me, but.
And everything's behind the fence. He's got the fence there at the house and everything goes behind it.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of deferring until next month when we get more concrete information.
Okay.
Want a motion to?
What kind of information are we asking them to provide?
Well, when Mr. Michelson will read about what a variance does, he's gonna say there's no other way to design this than what you're proposing. And I don't have enough information to make a yes or no.
I think they're looking for a more detailed sketch,
Yeah, where's that in relationship to the existing hot
the
tub?
location photograph.
Okay, so did you make that motion? To defer?
Well, I was somewhat,
Yeah, I'll make the motion, we defer the variance hearing until next month.
I second.
Does that mean a roll call? vote?
Yes, not a roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So Jim, you have to notify.
You have anything else, Jim?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, now, is there a way to get Leslie a zoning book? Do you have a zoning book or do you?
I have it in digital form. You can just email it.
I mean, it's digital online, I just was
She
asking.
wants
Joanne.
physical copy. I know we've had them.
Well, we can print it. Somebody can print it.
We have it at Staples, right? Here,
Yes.
she could get it printed up there, right? Unless you want to print it.
Sure.
Huh?
I just need a copy of it too.
Oh, Alan said he could get it.
Well, yeah, anybody can get it printed.
It's 61 pages long.
Yeah.
It used to sit on the table over there, is it still there? It used to be on that table, is it still there? There's a physical copy over here. Am I wrong? It used to be in the middle. I think we have to have a copy.
You should.
We used to have them like big blue notebooks, remember?
Yeah.
Village of Chippewa Lake, Ohio, Book of Codes.
Well, that stays here.
Yeah,
That's the copy for the village hall.
Right, we
Yeah, we
absolutely have one here, but I don't see why we couldn't take it and make copies of it.
Oh, you have it digital.
yeah, it's online, it's available online, I just wanted to,
I think it's a PDF online.
it's fine.
So
Yeah, I'm sure it is. What
who's
is it?
gonna copy it for her? You want her to do it? You want to do it? You want to do it? Let's not fight. Let's just somebody say, I'll do it.
From
I
a,
can,
maybe the Bloom's book and I'll copy. From a
That's one you.
printer's husband point of view, it's best to send them the PDF file and let them print it from. They're not gonna pull that part and scan it.
right.
They just need the PDF file.
Here, let me send you the PDF documents, so we're sure we got the most up to date one.
Okay, that'll. You can hold on to that until you get it. And then just bring it here.
Okay, we also, well, could you, send Lisa Crossy an email and have her take Keith off the website, put Leslie on there?
Sure. Do you want the residential maintenance code too, Leslie?
I'm sorry.
You want the residential maintenance code too? They go together.
Okay,
Do you want us both printed? There's a zoning code, maintenance code.
Yeah, she wants them both.
Yeah, I would think.
sure.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was gonna be such a difficult task. I
Oh,
thought somebody
gosh.
just.
Used to be everybody got one, but I guess that's,
Hang on a minute. You need to read it too, because there's errors in it.
Yeah, well, I
Typos,
planned on reading it,
spelling,
that's
the whole
why,
ball of wax.
yeah.
We look pretty elementary when it comes to that.
Does everyone on council have one?
I never got one.
Because you're all the zoning.
Sounds like we gotta run it through one of those AI programs, you know?
Something. Rewrite.
I don't have one for many years, so.
I have an old one somewhere.
Well, I have the up-to-date one.
Sounds like a good idea to have them printed for everybody then.
Send them around, so we've got them on file.
Yeah.
So you want me to
You can't sit here and argue with me about it if you don't have a current
Totally
one, because I
pays
read it
$3.
before I come here, if I have an issue.
So that King comes in, I think.
Okay, the other thing I want to ask zoning is, we've had one resident that has had a few complaints that I haven't heard you guys answer about the house being built on the corner of Rock Ridge and Briarwood Boulevard. Is there something going on there? Because he keeps saying it's too close to the property line. If that thing's got to be corrected or torn down, I think you should get to it before they keep building over there.
Well, I contacted the contractors and I said, as soon as you can you get the, because the area is all dug up and it's a mess back there and it's all mucky. And I simply, honestly don't want to go back there in the muck anyways, but as soon as they get the area cleared out, I asked them to mark out the lines so that I can measure everything. Now, I haven't heard anything back from them, but I figured that's what he plans to do, is free up right.
Well, the weather got better, so.
And if
So you
if
need
they're
to
in
follow
violation-
up with them and, you know, this is, like, we've been asked this for 3 months, we haven't given an answer, I don't think that's right.
Right. Well,
We're better than that.
there is no rush on it, because if down the road in 2 or 3 months, when they finally get it figured out, and I look at it and it's, he has to tear it down, that's just the way it
Wouldn't
goes.
it be easier to find out before he puts it up?
It's already up,
Yeah, it's too late for that.
it's too late now, that's on them. If they didn't do it right, they can tear it down and spend the money.
So you're waiting a few months to look at it, till it
No,
dries out, is
just
that
as
what
soon
you're
as you
saying?
can get it. I haven't pushed it because it's, like I said, the weather hasn't been great. It's been kind of mucky back there and they're having, all of that area, it's gonna need graded and fixed up anyway, so when they do that,
Who's a contractor on
I can't remember. But he seemed like a pretty straightforward guy, I didn't have any issues with him.
Well, then, he shouldn't be offended when you tell him that you've been asked to find out what's going on over
Okay, well, if
there,
you,
without waiting a
if you
few.
like, I'll push it for Glassnap's sake.
It doesn't matter who made the complaint, somebody made a complaint, they've talked
Well,
to
he
different
cries
ones,
all
and
the
we
time
haven't
about
done
something.
anything about it. We're better than that, Jim. You
Well,
can do something about it.
I wouldn't wanna go out in that mucky stuff and try to find a pin. It's not even easy. If it's wrong, it's already wrong. We gotta tear it down. But it's not.
Did you get a
Because
permit to put it up?
When I did the layout, the pin is on this side of the telephone pole
It's not even with the telephone pole. He's just assuming he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't. So that's why I'm not in a big hurry, because I know he's okay, he's right. I measured it when he was there. So when I.
Then why don't you answer the
Because it's not
complaint and
good
say
enough.
you got it wrong?
It's not good enough. It has to be proven to him, just like everything else. So I'll push this guy and I'll say, get out there and get it lined up so that I can measure it and make sure. And I'll have it done this month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now we'll go to community relations, Tabitha.
Easter party? Easter egg hunt? Tentatively, March 23rd is the weekend before the Easter holiday. So I still have to confirm with Barb to make sure that the hall is available on that day. I'm sure it is. There's usually not a problem with Sundays. I don't think there's any groups in here that physically use the building. And that's all I have for fun stuff. Is this something we're doing now or is this new business?
Yeah, go ahead and do it now, because it's kind of goes under community relations at this point.
Okay. All right, so Joanne and I had a meeting on the 17th of January with Nate Epic and Donna at Park District. The Park District has approached us because they want the village to take over the distribution of the stickers that go on the boats that sit at the docks overnight. We went back and forth a while. They asked about this quite a while ago, and we've been pushing back and telling them no. But we broke down, had a meeting, listened to what they had to say, and all in all, it doesn't seem like a half bad idea for us to do. So Alan did write up a proposal, a resolution for us that we sent to Nate. We still have to hear from Nate, but I know he passed everybody out one of these. I don't know if you got the chance to read it or not while we were sitting here.
Nate was out of town all last week. He just got this
Nate
last
hasn't
week.
gotten back to us yet to know if this is 100%
He said he'd
acceptable
be early this week, so.
for the Park District. Bottom line deal is, we pass out the stickers, the Park District provides the stickers, we collect the funds for the stickers, the prices are set by the Park District, but the village gets to retain the dollars to use towards the community. Unless there's a catch that we're missing, it seems like a win-win for us. We already have a system in place to distribute stickers to our residents because we have that in place with our ramp and our beach passes. So it seems like it's going to be pretty easy. I'm interested because I haven't talked to anybody. I know Joanne's had conversations with people, but I'm interested in any feedback, if anybody has any feedback at all or questions that maybe we haven't asked that we need to be asking.
I think we need to let Alan explain what this is first, so that all you guys will understand, and might answer some of your questions.
Tamitha's done a pretty good job.
Yes, she
I
has.
don't want to add to that I made this a bare bones agreement of basically what they said they wanted to do. And you are basically selling their stickers. And the proceeds is what your compensation is for handling that. Under this agreement, you're not responsible for deciding who gets a sticker, who gets on a dock, where the docks go. All that I made the responsibility of the Park District, because I don't think that you want to have to fool with that and have that detail work. So basically, I mean, they provide a list. When the people come to buy their stickers, you sell them. That's it.
And they provide the stickers. They already have 2024 stickers printed and ready to go.
Yeah,
So it's a matter of they're gonna sell the stickers or if we are gonna do it on their behalf.
Right, well, you'd be doing it on there.
They also set the price, because the price of these stickers are different, depending on what the Park District decides the lake rights are, which we will not also decide. We will not get involved in that. They will decide the price and then we just charge it. This is something that people have been paying for years anyway. So,
No, this is great. Yeah, this is, and we have the system in place. It's a win-win situation. I'm for it, but they haven't agreed to this yet. This is just
No.
our proposal.
I just sent it out earlier this week,
Okay.
It was about
No,
5 days ago.
last week. sorry.
but Nate was out of town, we can send emails saying
And I
that.
sent it to the attorney from the Park District too, Jeff Holland.
No confusion between the stickers we sell and what the park district.
No, because our stickers are, for the boat ramp
Right.
and, beach passes, parking permits, that sort of thing. It's just another, sticker. Amber Galactus has been selling all those. She's more than happy to be doing this. So the thought was in order to get it going, more or less, Alan said we could, agree to this as it's written, and then if they come back with some changes, that just wouldn't be agreement until we decide on something they've changed. But there's nothing in here that we have to do, none of the most unpleasant part. In other words, we don't say who goes on what dock. We don't have anything to do with any of that sort of thing. I think in Glory Glens, they do have something like that going on, but this isn't like that at all. We just simply sell the stickers for the price the park district sets on the property, and that's it, and we keep the money. Some people said that, you could collect up to $10,000 on these dock stickers. That's because of all the varying prices on them, I guess, because of where you live. Or the lake rights in the deeds. So that would go into our general fund. I'm sure Gary would keep it as a separate fund, just in how much is in that. And then we could use it for, presumably parks. I mean, I don't know, we could use it to fill a pothole or something, but
Right.
probably this would be.
Put a tree on the beach.
Well, of course, Mark, that was my first thought too. That's why I'm all for it.
I wrote this
I
also.
say a fake palm tree, great big ones, maybe 3 of them.
I wrote this to cover the east side of the lake, so people with docks down on Euclid Avenue and out down there, they'd have to come to you too to get a sticker. Which I don't have a problem with, you're just acting for the park district.
Apparently Euclid Avenue doesn't have boats, it's just the
I don't know,
other
whatever.
part of near the water.
You know, there must be some.
What-
Well, there's some boats in the water.
There's not that many though, because, after we had this meeting with Nate, they did send over all their records and, Amber has looked at them. Leslie, I think, you were the ones, you were the one counting those out, right? That was what, 10, 15 to most boats over that way.
There's not that many.
What's your thoughts on the term of this? On item E, you're kind of open from the start to the end. Do we want to review this after 1 year? Or do we want to give an extended period?
I suppose you could go back after a year to see how everything's working out.
That
Just because of the unknowns, I think I'd feel comfortable with that, but,
is there a way to incorporate, a termination clause or a termination?
Yeah, I thought about that.
On either part, on either
Yeah.
part.
Sure, I thought about that, and I thought, well, let's see what they want, what you want.
Whether there's no date on it, I mean, it could be terminated at any time, I would imagine.
Well, I put a blank in, if they want to be 5 years, we can put in the dates on paragraph 8 on the second page.
I think
Whatever.
whatever, well advised to have a termination clause in there. An at-will termination clause for either party. The other thing I'd recommend, doesn't have to be part of this, is whatever we choose to do, we do it entirely separately from what Parks is doing currently relative to boat registration, et cetera. So it's a standalone
Right.
Fun.
Well, that was the idea.
Yeah, that would be,
That's
Not
the idea.
standalone system, but the same mechanism, the same people.
Yeah, same
Here.
mechanism,
You
but
could do it on the same day, but we're
You
gonna have.
kind of do that now,
this
don't
is
you?
part,
two
this
separate,
is the part.
two
Beach
separate.
passes and
Yeah.
keys and sticker money.
Needs to be that way.
Jerry already does that with keys and stickers.
That goes into parks.
The, the beach passes and the keys are, he puts, even though all the money comes in together,
I just made a point, I should have known better.
you should, but you'll never know. Yes, Kelly?
It is my opinion that this process is not for the faint of heart. It's not as simple as what Amber does. It's more complex, way more votes, way more people, way more process. And whoever does do it, I would not assume that just a person, we have to get people, more than probably one, to be the owners of this process. And I know we have a couple suggested people who thought they could do it, but it is not for the faint of heart, and that's why they don't want to do it in the parks. It's their biggest pain.
Amber seems to think she can handle this, and she's already got a lot of she's already got a lot of records.
Well, oh, no,
And
she'd be
basically,
great, but I don't
what
want to
she's
assume that
doing-
she would do this, because it's not small.
Well,
The park district is already doing the hard part.
Yeah.
The park district is determining all of the lake rights, whether somebody can have a sticker or not have a sticker, and we have every single residence in a spreadsheet already that the park district has shared with us.
Yeah, the people
So
that are
we're
gonna buy.
not, we're not digging around to find out, do you have lake rights? Are you allowed? What is your request going to be? The park district is still doing all of that. All we are doing is collecting money and handing a sticker.
And you get a list from.
Just
the
make
park
sure you have
district.
somebody who says yes, and if you talk to Amber, that's great. And also, we're doing something for them, I think, that maybe they could lay off of changing our lake.
There you go.
Could start by extending our lease from 10 years on the beach area.
Well,
That's a
yeah,
good
because
idea.
That's still pending. I
Someone
haven't
told
gotten-
me they were at one of those meetings and the board didn't object to that, but I haven't heard that.
Well, I haven't gotten anything,
No, I know, but that's what I heard.
anybody. Would you want to add a termination? Either side can terminate on X months' notice, or
Just say,
1 month, 90 days, 6 months?
90 days is a safe, equitable period, I believe.
Want me to add that?
I would prefer that.
Okay, great.
That would,
No, I think
here would be good.
I think just as a show of your support for this, if you pass a motion approving this form with a termination clause, it shows them, we're ready to go. And I can tell them that.
And the clock, and we gotta be mindful, the clock is running.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get.
Yeah, March is gonna be here before we know.
Did you say 90 days? Termination?
Well, it really seems like a,
Now Nate
Great
wasn't
deal for us.
pushing for us to get this done and get this done for 2024 season. They would like to see that happen, but
I think it's in our best interest.
I think we're gonna do it. We need to do
yeah,
it.
What
because
about here?
Get off the
Are you gonna put dates on this?
Oh, yes.
What do you want?
Number
I'll put
8.
Dates if you want.
What dates do you guys want on this number 8? Do you want to put a different year, like?
I think we should do it for a year personally, then button it up, cleaner.
once you get through the first year, make sure there's no bugs, and you can.
Make sure there's not a
5
catch
years.
that we're missing.
Yeah,
It seems too easy and too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's why.
yeah,
So you'd
It
go
might have
from
changed.
February to February?
yeah, that makes sense. I think so.
February?
Yeah,
Might as well.
because everyone that we're selling a sticker to are somebody that's buying a ramp sticker from us anyways, most likely, except for Euclid.
Right.
There's only a few there, so I mean, that's,
Amber's more than willing to do that. She volunteered for it in December.
Well,
I
give her a
said,
raise.
no, we're not doing it. Yeah, we need to figure out something there.
yeah, I think so.
We'll get past this part first.
February 1 to February 1. I'll add a termination clause. I'll send it to the Park District.
It's well done.
Thank you. I like simplicity.
This is actually based on email from
It
Nate.
is. That's why.
Every line is something he said.
Right. I added a little bit on liabilities and responsibilities for them.
I move that we accept the agreement as written and amended for dates and termination clause.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Very good. I'll get it out. Send everybody.
Yeah, good job on this. This is great.
Don't spend money yet,
I just go right into parks.
Right.
I'm gonna build something really cool.
unless it's a tree, don't even think about it.
No tree, no tree.
Ruther will cover anything that you can't get to that tree.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay, we don't have anything else for community relations?
No, that's all I had.
Okay, well, Barb's not here, so anybody got anything for building and utilities? Okay, we'll go to parks.
I don't have a lot, just two things. The beach manager search, I think we narrowed it down to one good candidate, just local woman out there, local young woman. But I really don't want to give too many details, because we're still in discussions with it, but I think she's gonna be a great fit. And
Now, we're gonna put this out, to see what kind of applications you get.
I was doing that just due to the fact that I've been on council this is my third term, and we've never done that in the past. And I think if we find the right person, and two other council people agreed that she would be a very good fit, I think that's no consensus to not, hold applications, interviews, and whatnot. It's never been done in the past, at least not as long as I've been on council.
Well, we used to do it.
And I
Now,
think,
you could, Leslie's been doing, she's very good at putting things on Facebook.
okay,
She's been going out of her way doing I don't know if any of you noticed all the Lions Club emails that have been bombarding everybody, but Leslie's done a beautiful job of those, so.
well, we
I'm sure
could use
she
your
could-
help for the beach.
I mean, she could maybe make up something with the description of the job or something and put it on Facebook, just see what you get. If you want.
Actually, I did write an advertisement for the position, but Joanne had said something about putting it on the website, not putting it on social media, but it's up to, I can just share it with you if you decide you want to
I would
advertise it.
prefer to do them privately, but I definitely would like to use your help for the beach assistance, the beach, that position. I mean, this is a huge objection.
Is this somebody that you're talking about, somebody we've had before?
No, this is actually, she's one of Tabitha's employees. She's the neighbor of,
Kansas employees.
yeah,
She's,
Oh, she works with me.
yeah,
she
she
works
works
with
with,
me, yeah.
and,
She's a good person.
neighbor of Alan Robbins there. Great girl. She would be a good catch for that position, I believe.
Yeah, quality individual. So she.
Well, anyway, Leslie's very good at posting things, that's all I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
I'm not saying you're not.
no, I know she's way better than me, trust me. I know that. But yeah, I definitely want to, if you're willing to help, with some of that. I know Kelsey she already said that she would be open to possibly training, doing a lot of the web stuff, even though she's not employed anymore, but I would, only if that's something she would want to do, or if you'd want to take on some of that.
I think she was upset that she wasn't gonna be able to stick with that position, but it just didn't work with her moving away. So
Oh, yeah.
she
Yeah,
loved those
absolutely.
kids though, and.
She did a great job. I wanted to keep her here forever,
Hi.
but I knew it's temporary.
It's good having her in Monson.
Oh, that's it?
We are live.
One more thing, I'm just kind of thinking ahead, I'm planning on having a meeting with, some of the one or two people from the ski team to kind of get ahead of the agreements that they present to us every year, and just button up some of the responsibilities of what's expected of us, what's expected of them.
Yeah, get that,
Yeah, I
ropes
wanna
and
do
diving platform straightened out.
What's that?
The ropes and the diving platform.
And that's it. And I was talking with, with Melter today, and he's giving me some good ideas.
Don't forget, he bought ropes.
Yeah, he did. I think he spent already about 250 with the donations.
Yeah.
But he donated $250 so far. Yep.
And I think he's offered to help you put them in.
He did. Yep, he helped that. So I'm gonna get with them and just get ahead of it.
But
So
we still
hopefully
need to get that part straightened out with the ski team.
Yep, yeah, I agree. Yeah, there was, a few things, well, everyone knows what, I'll need to to discuss it. But yeah, we're gonna try to take care of that ahead of time. But that's it. I really don't, if anyone has any questions. Other than that, it's pretty light parks month for me.
Well, that's because it's,
Off season.
right.
Mhm.
You don't have any building or new projects for.
Not yet. That's all gonna happen when.
Wait till we start selling a couple stickers.
I have a question. A couple weeks ago, actually during Polar Bear, someone, contacted me about basically just the maintenance at the beach. And of course, normally we should have snow at this time. I didn't know if there was any kind of maintenance we did in the winter, in the off months, just to see something we would maintain. I don't know, it was like leaf cleanup and, there's a lot of leaves and debris had collected down at the beach area.
Well, our mowing people do a fall cleanup and then they do a spring cleanup, but we've never done one in between.
Yeah, let's see. The problem with that is, you can do that, but then you'll get some high water and then everything you did was for nothing really. But I know what you're saying, it was crappy.
The parking lot, and the comment was about, all these people coming in for the Polar Bear and what kind of presentation are we giving as a community, and
Well, I would think that would fall on Lions Club if they're using it, to clean it up before and after. That would make sense.
Well, that would be true, and generally would, but generally it's covered with snow or ice.
Well, right, I wouldn't expect possible.
And it was something that really kind of came up and we didn't think about, she brought it up, and it's really good comment, so we'll put it on our checklist.
Yeah.
For advance. We do have cleanup after the Polar Bear. Cross Point Church actually does that. They go pull the signs, which are visible, and then goes down the beach area to make sure there's nothing left out there, debris, paper, litter, those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
No,
we
Lions
have
Club, they do a
the
great job.
after effect, but not the front, and weather changed it, so it's on our list to do for next year.
Yeah, Lions Club, they do a great job, and great for the community. And I've never really noticed it. Sure, next day, a couple days after, you see some debris, but it is January or February. There's only so much you can ask
There
for.
can be a lot of towels and stuff, that kind of debris left around.
Yeah.
Gets picked up, but gets cleaned up and given to somebody.
Ken, did you get with Tom about the contract?
I'm sorry, say again?
The landscape contract, did you talk to Tom about that?
Yeah, that we had that taken care of. This is the second time. Brief, I believe that.
No, we've got it written up to present tonight, it's ready.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, thanks for the reminder on that.
I have one more question for Parks. A couple people mentioned to me over the summer, asked if we had ever considered getting a porta pot at Point Park. Especially there's a lot of concerts down there, events, people using the playground. I know it's a small community, everybody can go home. Someone asked me, I just thought I would bring that up.
I don't think it would be a bad idea. I know the ski team pays for the one down at the beach.
Right.
But they obviously that would not be their responsibility. Yeah, something to think about, check out pricing and whatnot,
Where would we place it?
I don't
I was
know.
gonna say, that
Is
would
there-
go by the several people around the area that are not present today.
There's a code about where you can and cannot have a porta potty, isn't there?
We can look into it. I'll look into it, I guess.
If there's anything in the code,
It's not supposed to be in the right of way,
Okay.
like everything else.
That's it, yeah, but,
There's, did you tuck it under the tree there behind the fence, the split rail?
yeah.
Right.
It'll be another cost, of course, and mostly for the public, not so much, even though, it's for residents out there, you have a lot of public out there.
Well,
You'd probably get filled, you probably have to empty it more often,
be
right?
prepared for it to float away 2 or 3 times a year too.
A lot of things to think about.
Right,
Put it by the parking lot, it would make it easier for them to pick it up. I don't think they want to run out on the grass after a rain or something and try to get it.
Yeah, close to that, close to the parking area there. And you're not the first one that mentioned that, especially with these porch rockers that we have over on Beachside Boulevard, yeah.
I think a lot of people come into the boat ramp and use it off their boats.
We do, the one at the ski team, yeah, we do.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do.
And I can't imagine it would be a nuisance to the neighbors because there's a porta pot in my backyard right now and it doesn't bother me. I
You
mean,
use it?
no. They're building a house behind me. They put them at construction sites all the time. I mean, we're not.
I stole it last week.
Yeah.
Quarter pot for a polar bear didn't show up.
I will remind everyone, we have covenants and restrictions about structures and restrictions about the types of trees and where they can be. Let's face it, that nobody goes down the road and says, damn, that's a good looking porta potty. And speaking personally, that's not a look I want to have at Point Park. If you can landscape it and conceal it, that's one thing.
Maybe something to think about. I hear what you're saying. I wouldn't want to stick it out like it's sort of gone, but you know, it's tucked away.
You know, we as a village have decided to provide waste receptacles throughout the village. And they work wonderfully. They're often filled to the brim and beyond.
With other people's stuff.
Yep, I see
Amen.
that at the beach even right now.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of people want to pay for their garbage, so they bring them to us.
before we get too enthusiastic about it, I would recommend we be very, very thoughtful about it.
Good point.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, anything else for parks? Then we will go to streets, Bud.
I really don't have anything. It's been quiet. I'm waiting for the financial rain to fall upon my head. With the advent of COVID, I've noticed that the costs are very accelerated and cost a great deal of money. And to get a successful road project bid, it's mandated, nearly so, that you get a loan. And when you encumber yourself with a loan, there's two distinctions, one of which is a road, that's a 20-year note. If it's stormwater management, that's a 30-year note. And what drives that definition is the dollars you spend on that particular phase of your road work. We're gonna have to be very, very thoughtful about how we proceed and how we move forward.
We have anything on non-phase one yet?
No confirmation yet. And they don't have to confirm until July.
We're pretty sure we got it, but that's pretty sure.
Pretty
it's
sure
not
maybe.
Good enough.
Yeah, pretty sure maybe. So the only thing that's knocking on our door is some gas line work. It's gonna be on Brookshore, or they're abandoning gas lines and installing new. Now, they've been in contact with Engineering Associates because Brookshore is where we're gonna do the road improvement project. But again, we haven't had final confirmation. So they have, God bless them, interacted with Engineering Associates to ensure that they're outside of where our road work will take place. And then the next area is Bass Bay. And I have no way of knowing, and Ben Cutler, who's the contact at Columbia Gas, has no way to definitively answer that question.
It's
So,
gonna be after Brookshire. And according to the drawings, my house is in the center of the action. What?
Well, you annotated the Brookshore one as mandatory relocation. So you don't have a choice on that, or is that money coming from someplace else for Brookshore?
what are you talking about?
Well, you sent out a couple of like things that had drawings and et cetera. I was just trying to.
When the gas company comes in and does that, they don't charge us.
No, that's just gas, that's no expense of the village, that's gas company expense. I just don't know where it's gonna be for a certainty. I anticipate it'll be Brookshire.
Engineering Associates is helpful for you, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
And that's all I have there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, law director?
Well, at this moment, we have no cases in court, which is a good thing. And beyond that, I do have an ordinance ready for, to accept a NOPEC grant and be in their program in 2024, if you want to go ahead with that. Okay.
Sure.
Need an ordinance, oh no, I've got an ordinance number, Gary, 89424, right? Okay, first reading, ordinance number 894-24. An ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, 2024 Energized Community Grant. So is there a motion to waive the second and third reading?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to pass the said resolution or
Yeah, motion to pass.
the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Let's see. I have the deed ready to sign. Send it out so you can look at the restriction on it. For the 15 vacant lots that the village owns up near Chippewa Road, the deed's ready to be signed by the mayor to put a restriction on those that they're not buildable. Any
Okay, I was gonna ask in old business, what are you doing about, Mont asked about that property about, selling them? We have not answered the question.
Right.
Who's gonna answer that question? Somebody should, because they asked nicely.
Well, you have to put it up for a public sale.
Right, so,
We can't just say we're selling it to you.
right, I get that, but when are you gonna do that?
When am I gonna do it?
After this,
Okay,
put the restriction on first. Then
is it already on there or it needs to
No,
be
you need
filed?
to sign the deed, I need to record it, then it's on there.
Okay, so next month?
Sure, it'll be done within a week.
And the announcement can go online for the sale. The announcement can go online for the sale.
Yeah,
On the website, yeah.
Yeah.
right.
What's the stipulations on that? Will be, open bid.
Well, you'd have to decide you're gonna have a minimum bid,
Do we have an appraisal on that land?
we have the auditor's appraisal.
If you'll recall, I had a conversation with a realtor who was going to intercede on behalf of the village, and then determined that because we had stipulated that it was a no-build site, we had in effect devalued the property. And he was no longer interested in providing any direct assistance. So I think it's, with that information, it's up to the village to determine an appropriate dollar value for the property. There's nothing close by. Dulacus bought one in
Long ago,
like '03.
was it $500?
I don't know what the dollar
800,
amount, it's not listed, so I don't know what to do.
Well, the auditor has the lots appraised at $830 each. Because I've had them reduced over time, at one point, some of these lots were $20,000.
Wow.
And, I
Yeah,
got all those reduced.
right.
But that's an appraisal, tax appraisal.
So, my personal opinion is it's up to the village council to determine a minimum bid amount. And the successful buyer of the properties will satisfy the minimum bid or exceed it, with the highest bidding standing over the rest. That's my understanding.
So who decides the price?
We do.
You all do.
So most properties are worth more than the auditor has them valued at, so if they have them valued at 800, make it 1,000.
You can't do anything on the property.
Right.
Especially when we file a no build restriction.
I think 200 to open.
What's the square footage of the property that's?
Good question. I got it here somewhere.
You're gonna sell how many?
50 by 80, I would say. That's right.
Is there any value in keeping the properties? Why don't we offer them all for sale? Or, I mean, why are we keeping them?
They're kind of a green zone.
Yeah,
That's
they're gonna
about the
be,
only, and real.
One has pretty good wetland on it.
right.
You just signed the paper, right, Joanne? So they're now non-village, correct? So they're a green zone.
Right, that's what I was thinking when you said that they're always gonna be a green zone, they're non-buildable, so.
Right.
That's what it is.
Well, we aren't paying tax on them, some of them we pay no tax on.
Well, not yet.
You just got that big wad of them in the bills I brought back to you tonight, there was a whole big bunch of them, what was it, $200 or something?
Thereabouts, yes.
So are we only offering these two because someone inquired about them?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. and Mrs. expressed an interest in purchasing the two lots. And over time, how many years has it been, Dennis? Dennis,
At least 10 years.
and a friend or two have
Clear the.
Over time. cleared them out, got rid of the junk trees,
Yeah.
thinned it out, and transformed the place.
I think they're about 50 by 130 dimension.
They're that deep.
Each lot is.
Does that sound right, Dennis? 50 by 130?
Something like that.
50 by 130.
Good.
The only thing I don't know is what's the offset, the right of way.
That doesn't matter. You just need to know the lot.
Yeah, I got something I want to bring up later, and a lot's gonna depend on the offset.
Just where he wants to build a condo.
From the center line of Chippewa, 30 feet this way. And what's the other one? On the garden.
You got setback distances in there?
Well, those dimensions don't include the.
30 feet from the center line of Chippewa Road is where the property line begins.
Right.
I don't like garden.
Garden, if you don't remember, I think it was 15, I think it's a 30-foot right away.
But the dimensions are,
I've moved that we put it up for auction with a $500 minimum value for each one.
For each one or both?
Each one. You're gonna sell them separately, right? Where to go?
Yeah, I think we have to, right, otherwise
Right.
they put them together, they get, no, they can't build on it, so, yeah, I don't know. Guess it would be separate.
That's my motion. If somebody wants a second or discuss it.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Right.
Aye.
Opposed?
you want to advertise them for sale at the next meeting?
We'll be ready for
I'll be filing
Will that part
the
be
deed
done?
restrictions like in a week or less.
that. Sure.
This works out well, maybe a good game plan for our pond problem.
Somebody wanted to buy that too.
Yeah, I would love it if I owned a house there.
At the March meeting, we can have an auction.
Mhm.
You wanna have it as an auction, or do you want bids coming in, written bids?
Well, sealed bids are kind of cumbersome because,
We did Birch property as an auction.
right,
That's okay.
All right.
Did a bid.
okay. I'll get it advertised.
Okay.
Who's in charge of the website now? Is it
Katrina.
Katrina? Okay,
Well, the village website is Lisa Crossing. Katrina's Facebook.
okay, we don't want it on Facebook.
I would be March 11th.
Are Crossie's in town, Kelly?
Or I believe so.
I believe they are. He called me too. I don't know where he called from.
Do you want it advertised anywhere but on the website? Right. We used to put all these in the paper.
I think to be fair to the people that are asking, it should be about 3 pages deep in the website, and that's the only place we should put it.
I mean, advertise is advertised. Okay. Very good.
So it's live bid March 11th. Is that what we're saying?
Pardon me?
So it's gonna be a live bid auction on March 11th.
Right. Okay, it'll be done.
That'll be exciting.
Okay, do you have anything else?
What about the landscaping cleanup?
Oh, you got rid of one contract.
Yeah. The proposal was for 3 years, 24, 25, and 2026. And I have a contract.
Are there any changes?
No, just the,
Dollar amounts increased.
the only change is in the bid, which is a little different than the last one.
25% increase on the lawn mowing.
Thank you.
Went from 1,200 to 1,500
Right.
per month, but it's in there.
But the spring and fall cleanup are the same, I think.
Yes, correct.
Very good.
It's 1,500 a month.
Yes. Is it per month? Yeah, I think it's per month. Yeah, 1,500 per month, based on an 8-month cutting season.
If you,
And he has a fall, spring and fall cleanup?
yes,
Correct. That's at $650 each, same cost as last year.
Yeah.
Last time I checked. And
It's
40
increased.
and $45 per man hour, that's not changed.
Right.
the other thing they did is they prepared that bid, is they increased it slightly because the fuel cost had come down. And if you recall, we were giving them a monthly stipend to handle the increased fuel costs. And that's gone away, so the increases are very marginal.
And there's nothing in the bid about fuel costs.
Yeah, that was intentional.
Right.
Last year, we paid $100 per month for the fuel surcharge.
That's right.
Okay, so you read that by title?
Well, I think you could approve this for motion because it's not a permanent law. If you're ready to approve this contract,
Boy, we need motion.
motion.
I make a motion, we approve the new submitted lawn maintenance contract.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Okay, that's all I have.
That's it.
Gary, finance?
Saturday, I delivered to council the January bank reconciliation showing everything in balance. Any questions or comments, council? I have a motion approving the sign off on the January bank reconciliation.
So moved.
second.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed?
Thank you. Saturday, I also delivered to council the January appropriations report for council to review. Be prepared to sign off. Are there any questions, comments about appropriations through January 31st? We have a motion to approve, sign off on appropriations.
So moved.
second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you. Saturday, I delivered the revised banking and investment policy. That was delivered to the mayor, the finance committee, and council. Are there any questions or comments about that proposed policy?
I think, I'm fine with it as written. There may be, adjustments. Part of this, Westfield, if they go over the FDIC limit, will go to other banks, for those investments. I don't know how that reads. I understand what it says, but I don't know how it reads when we see it on the reports. It may come a time when you've got some, a secondary bank involved. So Can you read it as at Westfield or is it New Bed?
I get a monthly report now. And they sweep out of our checking account almost weekly. And that's put into these subsidiary banks that are all, of course, FDIC guaranteed. So we keep a minimum lower amount in the active checking account, and most of the money is in these outside reserve banks. And so I get a report every month showing me how much and where it's at, in addition to the checking account.
Maybe I could see that so I can understand if that harmonizes with what we wrote.
Okay.
How much do you have with Star Ohio now?
Star Ohio, I got that. Star Ohio, we have 106,346.91. Money market, 256, 139.68. Primary, 180, 569.11.
And money market, the $6,000 overage would go to a secondary bank?
No, that I'll have to transfer into the primary checking account, and then it will be part of the sweep. They're paying the same amount of interest on the money market as we do on the sweep accounts, which is 4%.
Okay, just send me those statements so I can see how they read and what we've said in the report.
Sure.
I move that we accept the banking investment agreement as the policy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, guys, for your work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I meant to ask council at the January meeting if council agrees to submit a NOPEC application for the community event sponsorship for the Lions Club valued at $500. We've been doing this now quite a few years, I think. Any questions or comments? If not, may I have a motion from council authorizing the fiscal officer to submit the community event sponsorship application for the Lions Club. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. NOPEC advises that we are being awarded $1,643 for the grant this year. And last year we spent all available grant monies on Point Park electrical work. So this will be our new balance. We do need to pass legislation accepting the funding. And I still must submit the project for review and approval by NOPEC.
I move that we accept your grant. I guess is what we're saying.
Right. Let's see, is that one you have, Alan, or I have?
We already passed an ordinance
Okay.
to accept the,
Earlier tonight.
community grant, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
And I've got it here to be signed by you, Joe.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's good.
Well, the community grant, let's just clarify, a community grant is $500. And that money has to go to a free event in the village, and the July 4th parade is really the only thing that qualifies for that. So I don't want to get confused on community grant with this NOPEC $1,633.
Yeah, we've used that $500 for the last few years for the parade. We used to put a banner of NOPEC on it.
Right.
Our road vehicle, and
Yeah, no,
very handy.
So I guess my clarity was this ordinance for the NOPEC grant, this 1,633, is that a different terminology than what we already have?
Yes.
So we need a new ordinance, or has it already been passed?
I sent that out. Did you write up an ordinance for that? Did you say we
You passed it.
We did.
Yeah. An ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept NOPEC 2024
Okay.
community grant.
Okay.
Listening to Alan, there are two grants here. One Gary's talking about is different. So
Yeah, this one the village can use, the $1,600 or something.
Correct.
But what everybody's saying is we need a second ordinance to accept the second grant.
No, I think we did a little earlier in the evening. We did.
Well,
the
you
other.
did one ordinance to accept the community grant.
That's $500.
That's only the 500. We need a second
And
one.
we need
I
another
think,
one for the
percent.
1633 or whatever it is.
That's what I,
I don't remember we've ever done two.
No, we haven't. In the past, what we've done is we just passed, Jim, all we need is a motion for the community event sponsorship.
Okay.
What we need the legislation for is the ONOPEC grant.
And you passed that already
Okay.
tonight.
And that was passed tonight. So we got the motion already on the community event, so that clears that up. And with the motion, I'm sorry, with the NOPEC legislation passing, that clears the way for that.
Never mention them again.
Okay. Sorry, at least not together, maybe separate. We also have an opportunity to apply for the PEP grant valued at $1,000 for use on safety-related expenses, or sirens, or street signs, or whatever. Once a project is identified, I can then process the grant application, and we have throughout the end, until the end of this year. So anytime you folks identify a project, I'll write it up, send it in. Okay.
just a little bit of clarification, because with the siren project, there'll be, I'm gonna call it just an annual maintenance, checking the batteries, making sure everything's working. With this grant, you feel we're set up to be qualified for that?
I will ask PEP about that. They're good responder. I will have an answer for you at the next meeting.
The other is, second question, I guess, would be if we use that $1,000 to support Lafayette Township Fire Department for some activity that they're doing for safety.
Or if we would pay it to another subdivision.
Last year, we used it for the CPR classes, didn't we, for
We
the,
have used it
for the
past
beach
CPR
attendants and that
classes
sort
for
of thing?
residents.
Yeah, good
Yes.
point. Okay.
We used it, for the CPR classes for the beach attendants. I don't know how many beach attendants we have this year that are going to be brand new.
Yeah,
We might want to think about
Redo
redoing certification for
I
that.
think it's a good idea, yeah.
The,
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
Any
that further
returning,
explains it.
their cert would still be good for a little while longer.
Yeah, 3 years,
Yeah.
usually it's 3 years, yeah. So people returning.
We just have to identify how many people and how much of those $1,000 it's gonna take for that.
Okay,
Because the balance of the monies we have to apply towards maintenance, if we ever get a siren. That works.
We're gonna get some.
They keep the one we have plugged in.
Okay.
That's the cheapest way
Well,
out.
the mayor's gonna fire.
Yeah. Don't think so. Okay, on Saturday, I delivered the balance of monies to council and the mayor for ARPA and endowment accounts. The ARPA fund monies have all been used, thus closing out this fund. No additional reports on this fund are going to be issued going forward. It was on the ARPA fund monies.
Gary,
Yes.
do you need to finalize that expenditure with?
Oh, yes, I have to submit annual reports, and I've been trying to submit annual reports even though the monies have all been used in 2026.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's part of the government requirement.
Okay.
On the endowment fund, council should be aware, because of the reports that I gave you, that we have $6,701.60 yet available, not committed. So those monies are there.
That was committed,
Yeah.
but now it's uncommitted. It was committed to the pond. Remember, Keith got $10,000.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Right, that fell apart.
And all we did was get that study, and now we've done nothing.
I did have the opportunity to meet with the people that did that study, recent Ohio Partnership. They had a little vote that I was asking if they did Chippewa Lake, and they didn't do Chippewa Lake, but they did our pond. And I forget what it came out, $200,000 or so to do that. And I said, well, a lot of people think about, should it just be filled in? And their heads went up and down. So you may want to approach,
Well, interestingly enough, whether you fill it or rehab it, you first of all have to take all the muck out. That's a Medina County water management requirement.
No kidding, you can't just fill it in, that's interesting.
Okay. I'm just saying what the side comment was when I was talking to.
Either way, it's
EPA problems if you start pulling them up out there too.
big bucks.
Yeah, wow,
That's the problem.
you just drain the water.
Well, this outfit that had the little boat in there, they had a way, what was it, come in some kind of big bags?
Well, there's
It's
these
expensive.
are great big, huge bags or little bitty smaller bags. And they have a boat that floats about on the water. The water provides lubricant, if you will, to get the muck out and into the bag. And then they stack them out, or if you use a big bag, you place the big bag out and it dewaters itself over time. Then you cut the bag open and sell the soil. It's
Interesting.
That's how it works. In a nutshell.
But it's very, very costly.
Very costly. And interestingly enough, using their method or the other method, they're within thousands of dollars. It's over $171,000. And that's do nothing other than get the muck out of the pond.
That's
See, at this point, let nature take its course.
Well, I didn't talk about that part other than filling it in. You know, when they do dredging of lakes like Chippewa Lake, actually, the soils are very rich.
Yeah.
From a
Phosphorus,
nutrient
nitrogen.
level. So.
Yeah, the
there's a
pond
lot-
will be the same way.
Yeah, it could be. So, they have value, but you gotta dry it out. Okay, good point.
Over a year.
This one does have a concrete bottom.
Yeah.
Well, I asked them about that. They couldn't verify that. And that's, I said to them, I brought that up and they just kind of looked at each other and didn't.
Yeah, they never stuck a stake down.
Yeah, they just looked at the top.
That's not true, they did, but they didn't they were not able to make a determination that there was concrete. The side story is a couple lived in the dilapidated house across the road, put a concrete bottom in so the children could use the pond as a swimming lake.
This is back in the 20s.
Right, a long time ago. That's right.
You know, somebody who might know a little bit more about that's Bobby Gardner.
He has some pictures of that in the book. Some guy, looks like an apple orchard behind the ponds there, and I don't know, almost look like he's renting out a little boat or something.
You know, the story is that those people got thumbed by Parker Beach and Company, and they said, okay, screw you, we're gonna do it ourselves. Made their own little lake.
So we got $6,700 to spend.
That's right. And the park portion will be down the front, the 22,500, that was all spent. Zero balance, no additional reporting will be done on that from Riker. Any questions or comments on those monies? Okay. Tonight, I did deliver to everyone on the council, including the mayor, a document package that can be used to review to determine if additional monies are needed in preparation for filing the permanent appropriations for 2024. If no additions are made or required, then the temporary appropriations become the permanent appropriations. I need your input on or before March 6th. And as always, and as included in the note I gave each of you, I offer to meet with any council person on budgeting either individually or as a group. So I've given you everything you need to know about budgeting and appropriations and making myself available to answer any and all questions. So March 6th is the deadline, okay? Appreciate it. Tonight we have to do a second reading on Lake Shore leasing. We do the reading at the January meeting.
This is the lease they're not gonna use, right? Right?
I thought we passed that.
No, we just did a first reading last month.
Yeah, they're waiting on them to find out about the term.
They were gonna rewrite this. We haven't gotten it yet.
Oh,
But I'll be glad to do a second reading. Go ahead. Okay, second reading of ordinance number 893-24. An ordinance approving the lease agreement between the Village of Chippewa Lake and the Medina County Park District regarding the lease of Lake Shore Line and certain parts of the lake for a period of January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2033, and declaring the same an emergency. Second reading done.
okay. We spoke about that already. We spoke about that. Okay. Let's see. No impact to anybody here, I don't think. My scanning and copying functions on the state printer went down, so things will be a little bit slower if anybody needs a scan and copy or something. But I'll get it to you as quick as I can. Hopefully the state will get me a new pen.
Doesn't say this first reading. Last month's minutes don't indicate we even had first reading on that.
That's not good.
The state actually provides you with a product.
Yeah, we did. 893-24.
Yeah, the state does.
My notes show we did.
Minutes show you did.
Yeah. Oh, and we wanted to ask for more time. I asked the park district if they could make it a longer lease.
Okay, as of the end of January, here's these balances once again. Checking account, 180,569.11. Money market, 256, 139.68. And Star Ohio, 106, 46.91. Total, 543,055.70. And that's all that I have.
Okay, any questions for Gary?
Thank
Okay.
you, Gary.
Do we have any old business? Here we go, the audience. Good thing we have a lot of time for the audience. Big, Mark, you got anything?
I do.
Uh-oh.
About a year or so ago, you'd asked me about my dad's badge.
Your dad's what?
My dad's badge.
Okay.
I found it.
Oh, you did finally?
Yes, and I'd like to donate it to the village. They donated or gave him a plaque for his 22 years of service as chief of police of Briarwood Beach.
Wow.
And they
That's
affixed,
great.
and they affixed his badge to it, and I can't think of a better building to put it in than this one.
See, we
Yeah.
had the Briarwood Beach Police Department, and then we had the Chippewa Lake Police Department.
Right.
So we have,
That's great.
So,
thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
he's been going here Saturday and I'm
Did
still,
your mother get
finding
plans for
stuff.
anything?
I have no idea.
Well, we find out
I'm
for
still
her.
going through stuff. So he ended his years of service.
He was looking everywhere for this badge when his father passed away.
Nice.
That's very fitting for him.
21 years of service.
Wow, that's great.
That's all I got.
Okay, Kelly?
Just thank you to all of you always. I have one thing that's not related to us, but wondered if you all saw the request for Lafayette Township looking for a zoning person. They really need one. So if you know anybody.
They're also hiring an admin.
An admin person too. So they really,
And where's it? I'm sorry.
Lafayette Township,
Oh,
it was on Facebook and another place, but it's been a couple days, a couple weeks in a row, and they don't look like they're having a lot of,
Oh, I thought they found someone.
okay, I hope so.
But they do need an admin.
They found an admin?
An office administrator, yeah,
Good.
part-time.
Anyway, just saying, we're very blessed here.
Pam? Dennis?
Sure.
Okay, never disappoint.
There's I know you're getting tired of hearing about Garmin. There's a couple of trees down on Garmin Road.
Do you own them?
Your pardon?
Do you own them?
No.
We should wait till next
So,
month
yeah.
before we discuss that.
These trees, I kind of mentioned them in the past to some folks, and they need some attention, and one of the most recent storms top came out of one of them, and, took out the power for quite a large area. If it were something that I could handle myself, I would have taken care of it, but it's beyond my scope. So I think we need to have somebody come down, will identify the trees. And that's where my question came about the right of way, but I'm not sure if it's still within the right of way or if it's outside the right of way, but all in the same, you know, they're tall enough that as they're breaking out, they're taking up power lines.
Do you have time to go look at those, Jim?
Yeah, I can get with you in a minute.
Then if they're ours, I guess call AJ.
Yeah, I talked to AJ last week, he called, because he's doing some work at the cemetery for me. So we got a list of trees that need to be taken out here, but spring needs to come, and we need to see for sure whatever, but obvious ones like Dennis knows.
Yeah, that one might
Mark
have
them.
come sooner.
Yeah, but he said he's getting caught up, so he's gonna be able to be available. So that would be good, if we can get together and, let's try this week. Are you available this week?
I'm sorry,
Are you available this week?
Sometime, like, I think Wednesday is the only day that's not available.
Wednesday,
I have to look at my schedule.
Wednesday's good for me. You want to
I'm
call?
available on Wednesday.
Oh, you're not available
I'm
on?
not available Wednesday.
Well, just get with me, give me a call.
Okay, I've got your number.
Right, thank you.
And normally I would take care of it, but these are beyond my scope. One is dead and hollow, and, you know, and with the other being dead in particular, you know, they're not trees I'm gonna climb. And I'm beyond the age of climbing trees.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Dennis. Okay, do we have any new business? Okay, then you only need to make one more motion around here.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No. This, yes.